Hey guys, I want to introduce something to you called comparison statements. And we have worked with this before back when we first started multiplication, but we just didn't call it that. So what a comparison statement sounds like is this. Sam has 4 baseball cards. Seth has 3 times as many cards as Sam. So essentially I'm just comparing what Seth has compared to what Sam has. How we solved this is we said, well, Sam has 4 cards and Seth has 3 times as many, so we just multiplied. And we figured out that Seth has 12 cards. Now we're going to dive in a little deeper and we're going to think about comparison statements not only with multiplication, 3 times as many, but we're also going to think about it as a fraction. So if I draw a picture, I could draw that Sam has 4 cards and I know that Seth has 3 times as many. So what you want to think about is that this 4 is one group, okay? Not individual groups, but one whole group, because this is what Sam has. So I want to draw that Seth has 3 of these, because he has 3 times as many. So I draw one group of 4, 2 groups of 4, 3 groups of 4. So my total number of groups is 3. Now, when you think about fractions and you think about numerators and denominators, you know that the denominator is always your whole or your total. So because I have 1, 2, 3 total groups, that would be my fraction. So if I want to compare Sam, who has less than Seth, he would have a fractional piece. So Sam would have some part of this 3 that Seth has. Remember that Seth has more. He has 3 times as many. So 1, 2, 3 whole groups is where I'm getting my denominator. Now Sam only has one group of the whole that Seth has. So he has the numerator of 1. Okay? So Sam has one group. That's why there's a numerator of 1. And there's 3 whole groups that Seth has. So Sam has 1/3 as many as Seth. All right, we're going to do a few more. This was just to introduce it. All right, let's take this example. Again, this is what you're used to seeing. Kate has 8 Hurricanes hockey tickets. Tim has 2 times as many. Now this is what we call times more comparison because I'm talking about multiplying, not talking about the fraction. So again, how we would solve that is that Kate has 8 and Tim has 2 times as many. So 8 times 2 is 16. So Tim has 16 tickets. So to draw this as a picture, I would draw Kate's 8 tickets. And now my one group size is 8. So this is considered one whole group, whereas Tim has 2 of these groups. I drew that line there to show you the separation of each group of 8. So Tim has 2 times as many as Kate. So Kate has the fractional piece because she has less than Tim. So to figure out what fractional piece she has compared to Tim, I'm going to count what Tim has. He has 2 groups, so that's my denominator. And Kate has 1 of the 2 that Tim has. And this visually might be a little easier for you to see because if you look, I have 2 groups, but Kate has half as many. This line right here is half as much. Okay, so Kate has half as many as Tim. So this would be considered my times more comparison statement. This is my fractional piece comparison statement. So whenever you think about this, somebody always has less or a fraction. Someone always has more, and we use the times to determine the how many more. All right, now we're just going to use a picture to actually create our own statements. We're going to create a times more statement and a fractional statement. And we're just going to use t-shirts here and sweatshirts. So students with t-shirts, this is how many? 2. Students with sweatshirts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in order to determine my fractional group or what 1 is considered, I have to look at the smallest amount. So I see 2 t-shirts here. So this is considered 1 group. So if I look down here, I have 1, 2, 3 groups. So if I want to think about times more, well, who has more? Well, the students with sweatshirts do. So I could say the students with sweatshirts are 1, 2, 3 times as many than students with t-shirts. Now you could tell me that there are 2 students with t-shirts and that students with sweatshirts have 3 times as many. But this is fine as well. You just need to know that 1, 2, 3 times as many people are wearing sweatshirts compared to my one group of t-shirts. Now again, to determine the fractional piece, I see I have 1, 2, 3 groups in all. So this is going to be my denominator. And that the t-shirts only has one of those groups. So I'm looking at a fraction of 1 over the 3 total. So only 1/3 as many students have on t-shirts. This actually kind of makes its own fraction if you look at it. This is 1 group over 3 in all. That's another way you could think about it. Just know that sometimes the smaller amount might be on the bottom, and you would never write 3 over 1 to show a fractional piece like this. Alright, so again, times more, you look at the bottom, you have 1, 2, 3 times as many groups of this as this top one that has only 1. And the fractional piece, you get 1/3 because there are 3 total groups, and the t-shirts only represents one of those groups. Alright, I want you all to just give this a shot, try it, because all day tomorrow we're going to be working on comparison statements using pictures. We're going to have some of you come up to the front of the room and we're going to compare each other. So just try it. This is pies. Okay, this is one group versus cakes. So you need to separate. Know that this is one group of 4. So think about how many groups of 4 of cakes you have and make 2 comparison statements. Times more and a fraction.